Do you feel like your life is out of control? Do thoughts race through your mind and you worry about what other people are thinking or doing? Have you taken the time to sit back and recognize where you're spending most of your energy? Take a moment to think about how much control you actually give away to others. Why don't we start looking at our lives as if we are the CEO in it? Well, to learn that, stick with me, and I'll go into 5 steps to discovering the tools, mindset shifts, and reclaiming your personal power and energy. Hi there, and welcome back to Hope Brigade. I'm Kristen Woodrow, your host, and today we're talking about a topic that I think is really quite important. We're talking about becoming the CEO of our life. I always ask myself the question, I think, why do we avoid making commitment to ourselves or doing the work on ourselves when, without a thought, we find it much easier to make commitments to other people or even a job or business that we're working on? If we're going to be the best that we can be and we're going to have the happiest life and rediscover that love for life that's so important, then shouldn't we be making the exact same commitment to ourselves? In this episode, we're looking at what does it mean to be the CEO of your life and how do we get there? It doesn't mean becoming a control freak. A lot of people worry about, oh, I'm going to become this control freak. And that's not what I'm saying at all. That's not how a true CEO leads a company. It doesn't work well, and the employees won't be loyal, nor will they stick around. So when we look at being successful, it means more about taking accountability, responsibility, and finding clear direction for yourself. Basically, the top assets it takes for a CEO. It could mean leading your life with a vision instead of just reacting to the circumstances around you. Being proactive rather than reactive. Being reactive takes so much more energy and power. If we're proactive, it's working smarter, not harder. Making decisions for yourself instead of reacting to other people's behavior, for example. If we decide where our boundaries are or what we're in control of within ourselves, we're less likely to react to how somebody else behaves. We don't control them, only ourselves. And it's also about being strategic with our time and energy. Like, don't give away all your energy worrying about how other people are living their lives. A lot of people that tend to be very controlling over other people, it's because they don't have a sense of control over themselves. And what a waste of energy that is. So the only person at the end of the day that you really have control over is yourself. And if you make the self-commitment and do the work on your life, well, it's the same as growing your business. And you owe it to yourself. You're worth it. So first off, why don't we identify where we're giving away our power and energy? Do you know where you're giving it away? I know number one for me quite some time ago was people pleasing. I had a tendency to want to make everybody happy all the time. I wanted everybody to like me. Let me tell you, it doesn't work. First off, there's no way that you're going to make sure everybody likes you. It just doesn't happen. And you're never going to keep everybody happy no matter how hard you try. What a waste of time. Not really authentic either. And you're taking away all that energy from yourself. So that's the big number one for me. Another one is avoidance. When we avoid dealing with something, we carry that weight on our shoulders every single day. Why do we want to carry that around? I know I don't anymore. If you deal with it right away, then it's a way of moving on and not spending all that energy and time worrying about it. Just cut to the chase. Fear. Fear is a big one. And I'm not talking just a fear about spiders, which I can have, but I'm talking fear of failure or fear of somebody talking poorly about you, things that are going to hold you back. Those fears, they can be real, and I know they can be really difficult to move past, but it sucks up all your energy too. And instead of giving your energy to that fear and fueling it and making it bigger, we need to look at taking it away and just moving forward. Yes, we're going to fail sometimes. Yes, some people are going to be upset with the successes we have too. But feeding into it doesn't move us forward. So take the energy away from the fear and start putting it into moving forward for your success. Indecision, that's another big one. Indecision can, well, leave it so that somebody ends up making the decision for you. And sometimes people do that just so that they can blame somebody else for the decision that was made. What a waste of time and energy that is. When we make decisions and take responsibility for our own choices, that's where the energy can go. And yes, if it's a poor one, so what? We're human. We're going to make mistakes, but learn from that mistake and move on. Make that decision. Take that control over your life and make the choice. Blaming others for our hardships. That's another waste of energy. That means we're focusing on others all the time. We're waving that finger, playing the blame game. I'm not saying that we need to take that baseball bat and beat ourselves up, because that's not what it's about. It's about taking accountability and responsibility. Others don't have that control. If you're blaming them, you're saying that they have that control over you? Really? Let's focus on bringing the power and energy back, taking leadership of our own life. Blaming circumstances for why you're not moving forward. Yeah, things can happen, blips in life happen, and that can slow us down. But instead of taking that energy and that time to blame it, make the choice that you're going to change the circumstance and put your efforts into that. That's what a CEO would do. If something's not going well in the business to be successful, then they make a choice to switch it up and go a different direction. Another thing is we wait for validation from others. We tend to, as people, wait for people to say, that's a great idea, or yes, you're doing the right thing. At the end of the day, they're not the ones that have to live with it. We are. You are. So why are we waiting for them to validate what we do, what we choose, or where we invest our time and energy? They're not the ones that are going to live with the consequences or the successes as it plays out. And last but not least, this is a big one, and I still work at it daily. Getting overly worked up about the small things that are out of your control. That just can be so draining. I actually had a little booklet once. It was called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And like I said, I still need to remind myself every single day. So if you're getting upset because, oh, the lineup at the grocery store is taking too long, or let's say traffic is backed up, first off, we can't control that. It's part of life. It's something that's happening. So why waste our energy getting angry? We can use that time instead to reflect on something or make mental notes that we're going to want to write down later or plan something out. Or what I have done sometimes is take that time to think of some really good things in my life, reflect on that so it adds a smile. That's reclaiming that power and energy and not giving it away to situations. So for starters, on the journal pages, and I'm going to include one with the resources on our webpage, is let's start with figuring out and making a list of where we're not showing up as a CEO in our life. That way we can start to pinpoint what we need to work on. Next, we're going to start building a framework for that power shift. That means moving the power from over there back into our court as a CEO. By giving power away to others, that's like saying, here's my company, you be the CEO of it, and then blaming them when it doesn't work. No, we're going to reclaim this. So in order for that to happen, we need to start with the 4 A's. That's number one is awareness. And in a past episode, we really talked about it. I mentioned how important self-awareness is. Not only does that self-awareness give you more power and control over your life, but it also helps you become aware of everything around you. That's fantastic. And that's what we all need to start doing. Reflect on some moments where you felt powerless and what provokes really strong emotions on you, over you. Those emotions that crop up all of a sudden that you don't feel like you have control over. And then reflect also on what are your values, your goals, and what are your priorities in life? Just because you write down certain sets of values and goals and priorities right now doesn't mean they're set in stone. Remember, everything can change. Like a business plan can change, your life plan can change too. And agency. So I couldn't find a better word to describe what this is, but what it means is, what am I in control of right now in my life? Scribble down some examples, a list of what you feel you have a good grasp on right now in your own life. Alignment. Do your choices reflect your values, goals, and priorities? Like we said in the awareness, those are important. So when you make a decision or a choice, do they reflect those? You can make a list of examples right now where they do or where they don't. And wherever they don't align, ask yourself, why don't they? That's important to know. Maybe there's some self-discovery to happen there. And action. All these lists that we're saying, again, I mentioned you don't run a business successfully without a business plan. Yes, it can change as you move along and learn new things. But in reality, in order to have a strong hold of what direction, a clear direction you're going forward, you need that business plan. So why wouldn't you take the time to create that business plan for your life? Lists in your life that are important to you. It gives you a starting point for that clear direction. You could start off messy. Nobody else is going to see these notes. They're yours. Not unless you decide that you want to share them. So starting is the most important part. The self-commitment. Do the work. Perfection isn't required. It doesn't exist. And At the end of the day, that perfection or needing to be perfect with anything, it's only an excuse and it holds us back from moving forward. Doesn't hurt anybody else, just us. So the next part is recognizing the importance of boundaries and self-trust. These are important tools as the CEO of your own life. Boundaries are very important in setting your limits for your time, your energy, and your emotional space. You need focus on your life and you need a safe space for your emotions, and your time and energy are worth something. So setting those healthy boundaries are key. And we talked about that in a past episode as well. Having trust in yourself. This is your life. How can you expect anybody else to trust you if you don't trust yourself? And that goes the other way as well. How can you tell somebody in your life that you completely trust them when you don't trust yourself? If you don't trust yourself, you can't give that trust to anybody else. So we need to start there. This is your life, and only you know what is important for you. And here's the other thing. You don't need to over-explain or negotiate your worth to other people. As a CEO, you're not interviewing for the position. You're already the CEO. If anything, you're going to interview others. It's not that I'm saying that you shouldn't be polite or kind or compassionate to others. I'm saying that you need to be kind and compassionate and polite to yourself first. Then you can be that way with others. Relationships are important. I'm talking friends, family. Those people in your life are going to help you have a more exciting life and enjoy it that much more. Don't get me wrong. But you want those to be healthy relationships, especially on your inner circle. That is key. Think of it as like having really strong employees in your business. They're going to make or break your business. So the health of your relationships or the people in your life are going to make or break that happiness too. And it's up to you to choose who to keep in that inner circle and which relationships are toxic and need to be let go. So let's reflect back on everything we've just gone through and how it reflects in real life. The life transformation happens only when we reclaim our power and use that energy in a wise way. Career changes can happen and open doors to so many more opportunities when we have our energy in the right place. We can eliminate toxic relationships from our life so that we're not spending that energy there and giving our life away to somebody else. You either accept a person for who they are or distance yourself from them. It would be draining otherwise. And why do you want to keep living that draining experience, expecting others to change? How would you feel if others were expecting you to change? They're not in the driver's seat. You are. Making key personal changes leads to great happiness and rediscovering your love for life. And that's why I'm here today is I want to help you get there. You're worth it. Remember that always. You are so worth it. Gaining additional energy and not wasting it on what others are doing or thinking. And by blaming others or situations for what you're not happy with is like saying that they have the power in your life and not you. So let's bring it back to ourselves and take accountability and responsibility instead for our choices, because then we can correct them and move on for what's going to work for us and reclaim the power back to ourselves. Sometimes letting go is actually more powerful. That means you get to keep that power back with yourself. Let go. Is it really that important? And is it worth your energy? Think about it. Really dig deep and hard. Those little perturbances in life, is it really worth that energy and taking away from your happiness? Not one bit. So at the end of the day, let's look at it this way. You are your own keeper. I'm my own keeper. Self-commitment and the work is for you. Stop giving away your power. Take time right now to take charge and become the CEO in your life. We have some journal pages on our resources included with the episode that we have on our website at www.hoperegained.com. If you think this could help somebody, if you recognize that somebody out there could really use this message, please share it with them. They're worth it too. So let's make sure that we try to include everybody. We're here to help you rediscover your love for life and anybody else that is ready. It's about being ready, remember, to make that choice. And reach out and connect. We love hearing from you. You can either email us through our contact page on our website, or you can DM us in any of our social media pages, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm going to answer you. I want to be here for you. So if you take that time, I will too. I appreciate you. And if you really like these messages and like the positive changes that maybe it's having in your life, please subscribe so you don't miss anything and comment. Let us know how we're doing. Or if there are any other ideas you think would be important for making that next step, maybe we have some planned episodes coming up. But if not, we'd love to hear from you. We want to know what's important for you too. So drop us a quick note. And if you prefer to listen to us like in a podcast because you're driving to work or traveling along on your earphones, we're also on your favorite podcast platform, so you can hear us there. Until next week, have a great one.